year 1990 for drug discovery. They are forced to lay off 33% of their staff. Now, this is the dark truth of traditional drug discovery companies. If you are still dreaming of becoming a scientist in a drug discovery company, you need to change your strategy, and that also I will divulge towards the end of this video. Geron Corporation, a company, it's a traditional drug maker researching on anti-cancer drugs. Fast forward to 2025, that means 35 years later, this company of 260 people, even though they have FDA-approved drug, they are forced to lay off 33% of their staff. Now, this is the dark truth of traditional drug discovery companies. I want to highlight this in front of you is because that era is gone, and if you are still dreaming of becoming a scientist in a drug discovery company, you need to change your strategy, and that also I will divulge towards the end of this video. Now, to start with, there's a time trap. Now, the time trap is 10 to 15 years of slow development, slow discovery for one drug, one molecule defined, right? And billions of dollars is spent, okay? Some lollipops are given to the investors saying that yes, we are going to get there, we are going to get there. The process which they follow, target identification, then hit, then lead, preclinical, phase 1 to 3, approval. All of this takes 10 to 15 years. Most scientists will spend their entire life behind one drug. PhDs, postdocs, on one project which never sees the light of the day. Once the drug reaches the market, the original drug discovery team may no longer be needed by the company unless the company is evolving, right? That is one aspect you should know. Now, the second aspect which nobody tells you about is companies like Geron Corporation also are betting on failure. Now, nobody loves failure, by the way, but science is all about failure. Failure rate is 90%. 90% of the drugs will fail in the clinical trials. This failure, late failure, leads to, by the time they realize that the drug is going to fail, massive amount of investment has already gone in. Billions of dollars is lost. So many scientists who worked on these projects now will go in oblivion. They will have to look for jobs somewhere because this company goes bankrupt. Most of the time, the companies, startups who are into traditional drug discovery go bankrupt. That is where Big Pharma survives, because Big Pharma has multiple approved drugs which is bringing in the cash, so they won't go bankrupt. So novel discovery using traditional method is risky, too risky by the way. Unconventional biology they're trying to do. They're trying to bring in cross-disciplinary ideas, but the method is wrong. We are, creating boundaries when we are doing such research. Like, okay, we are biologists, so we'll only look at the biology side of the drug. We are chemists, so we'll only look at the chemistry side of the drug. No two teams are talking, right? The speed is so slow, there is no prediction that whether this drug will actually work in the market or not. Let's talk about Wegovy and Semaglutide, right? So Semaglutide is a repurposed drug. Nobody talks that it is an AI repurposed drug, but who knows at the back of it must be AI, right? Otherwise, how suddenly they'll get a weight loss drug? There must be some story behind which they're not telling you. What is the human cost of this dark drug discovery story? Traditional drug discovery story. Layoffs. 33%, 50% of the team will be scientists. The scientists will lose job. Now tell me, at the age of 40, if you're losing a job, now getting a job elsewhere is gonna be very tough, right? And that too when you say that you worked in a project which failed. And that too losing job overnight. It shakes your confidence, your family, and that unpredictability is actually led by the CEOs, okay? But the employees pay the price. In the middle of this, whatever papers you have published, the outcome will be a failed target, a failed drug. So nobody will bother about reading those papers also. It may not help you. The metric of success today is tied up with FDA approval. So if we have to increase the chances of approval, then we have to have multiple drugs. But if we are taking 10 to 15 years, just like Geron Corporation, now they have an approved drug, but they ran out of money. So they will lay off people. right? They'll increase the sales people, of course, the company will survive, but the scientists lose job. That is why I always tell the younger generation, which is all of you, don't follow the traditional method. The traditional method is going to punish you. It is punishing your previous generation, right? People are losing jobs. I should say this on camera, on face, on record, I'm telling you this. Being impatient in science is good, because if you are waiting for years to get a result and the result doesn't come, and finally, even if it comes, companies like Geron will lay you off. I think a better option would be to look for companies like Chai Discovery. Now, let me bring in the shining armor of drug discovery as of today. Not a traditional drug discovery company. This company is one of the first biotech companies in the world which is funded by OpenAI, which of course you all know, ChatGPT, right? Why would ChatGPT founders back a biotech company which is into computational drug discovery? Now, this is where the difference comes into picture, guys. The dark truth is traditional drug discovery is too risky for its employees, not just for the company. The company might go bankrupt, but the CEO will go happy. The employees will suffer. But if you follow an approach of computational drug discovery, the chances of failure is less. Why? Because you're doing 4 things at a time. Now, which are the 4 things? Let's find out. The first thing you're doing is, of course, drug screening, drug repurposing. Then you're also looking at efficiency, toxicology, all of this, right? That is where companies are betting huge on these kind of modern methods. So what's happening with Chai Discovery? Chai Discovery is bringing in real-time cost gains and time gains. See, the more time is spent on discovery, the more cost increases. The more cost increases, then problem will be the company will have an inflated balance sheet. They have spent so much money and the drug is coming after 35 years. So 35 years wasted. Instead, we go in, we increase the number of molecules entering drug discovery. We increase the number of molecules entering drug repurposing. We increase the number of lead optimization targets. We increase the number of molecular screening targets. We do predictive toxicology instead of doing final toxicology studies. And we use the regulatory intelligence. Right? So these are the 4 approaches, by the way: target identification, lead optimization, molecular screening, predictive toxicology, and finally the 5th one is regulatory intelligence. The moment you combine all of these 5 in pharma and biotech drug discovery, you have not a dark horse, but a white horse. The white horse of drug discovery is computational drug discovery. Now, the application potential of this is huge. The cost benefit is huge. In fact, recently in the parliament also, this question was raised by Member of Parliament Shri Chamala Kiran Kumar Reddy and Shri Itala Rajender has raised this question where they asked whether AI has reduced the cost of developing new pharmaceutical molecules by 10 times and shortened the development time by 50%. Now, they asked this question. So to answer this question, Anupriya Patel, who is the Minister of State for Chemicals and Fertilizers, has responded that AI represents an emerging opportunity. So it will definitely create a competitive advantage for the Indian pharmaceutical companies also. Now, let's look at the Indian pharmaceutical company, what's happening, by the way. So Indian pharmaceutical companies are basically factories. They're pure businesses who don't want to lead the world. They want to be the factory of the world. So, okay, we'll create biosimilars. We'll create something which works because we are a poor country. We can't invest billions, and we'll invest our talent into factories, right? After your B.Pharm, M.Pharm or M.Sc Biotech, they'll push you into production, formulation, development. Those are factory workers, right? Where is the innovation? I believe that the Gen Z should innovate so that by the time you turn 40 or 45, you are a leading scientist in biology. Now, what is happening with traditional discovery companies? By the age of 40, they are shutting down. By the time you touch 40, they have shut down. So now you are in the middle of the road. Instead, if you learn computational drug discovery, your chances of succeeding in the future is very high because the drug itself will succeed. So I'll give you a simple example. Let's say that I made this cup of tea, today morning, and this is the first time I made tea. My chances of making a bad tea is high, right? But if I use computers to design multiple virtual tea products, and I have practiced it, so my chances of in the real world printing or manufacturing the right tea or making the right tea is better, right? That's the exact thing which happens. In drug discovery, when you're trying inside a computer, your chances of failure is high. But then you can do it faster. Instead of waiting for 10 years, you can do it in 3 months. You can reduce the timeline. You can reduce the cost. Why the cost is improving? Because you're not going in the lab. You're sitting inside a computer, right? So the future of biological drug discovery is in companies like Child Discovery, which is funded by OpenAI itself. That itself is a big breakthrough, guys. And now let's look at this. The goal of Child Drug Discovery as a company is to shorten the drug development timeline so that potential new medicines can enter into clinical trials faster and they can get into the market faster. And that is where I keep saying the tech bio companies are eventually going to overtake the biotech company and pharma companies. And that is why the biotech and pharma, traditional biotech and pharma, is scared. They're not talking, but they're over hiring AI scientists in drug discovery. You name it, any Indian company, they're hiring. They will not say, I'm hiring an AI drug discovery scientist. They'll say, I am looking for a biologist who has Python or expertise, right? And that is where M.Scs are getting jobs like anything. A Master in Science for Biotech, M.Pharm, B.Pharma are getting jobs faster. Why? Because they have AI. You're a Gen Z. Your impatience is your biggest asset. Why should we pursue science the old way where companies like this one shuts down? But instead, why not learn science the new way? Now, that is where Biotecnika enters with its AI/ML in drug discovery and biopharma hands-on training. With live project from the industry. This is an industry recognized internship, and this is starting from 5th of January 2026. New year, new beginnings, new things you must start. Now let's look at what really will change if you pursue this particular touch. The first thing, it's not a normal course which you do. Okay, first 45 days you will be trained in a group training so that you know AI/ML, you know bioinformatics, you know drug discovery. Then you will get a hands-on exposure on the project. And then this high demand skill will help you publish papers. Now, papers, if you go for wet lab, there are too many, so rejection is high. But AI/ML powered anything is getting, approved in top peer approved journals also faster. So you will get a work experience letter because you're working in the industry, you're not working in the academia, you're doing industry-oriented projects, and then you're getting a job because Biotecnika is tied up with so many pharmaceutical biotech company, new age companies, tech bio as well as biotech companies. Right from Cognizant, Accenture, Wipro, Infosys to Biocon, Syngene, you name it, any company, we are tied up with them. We are having connections with their HRs and they recruit from our platform. So the time has come to start something fresh and new in the new year. 5th of January, the course will start. You'll also get mentorship and 100% placement assistance from our team. The best part of our placement assistance is now it is AI powered. So the HRs are no longer going to go through every resume. They will just put in their job description, say, I'm looking for a guy who has this, and the AI gives the percentage probability. These are the top 15 candidates who have this. And they get hired, they get screened. That is the power of AI we are using in our own placement assistance as well. And now coming to AI in drug discovery, let me ask you a question. The background behind me can be changed. It's a critical question. So earlier, we used to use a green screen to change the background. Today, they can change the background and make me sit next to a beach. They can, change the color of this cup. Why can't you use AI to just screen the drug? Why can't you use AI to do predictive toxicology? Why, use AI to screen and find new drugs, drug repurposing, right? Drug screening, drug lead optimization, whatnot. Adding new functional groups to the same drug and finding new pharmacological, opportunities. So the opportunity here is unlimited, and you're getting a hands-on experience at Biotecnika's with Biotecnika CRO, by the way. Real-world application, flexible learning path with expert-led instruction. Below every video, there will be an AI assistant, so you can also chat with the video. You are not just learning from the live classes. You are actually watching the recording, and you can chat with the video. All of this coming to Biotecnika with AI/ML in drug discovery. Now this course, link is there. You can chat with me and our team. Get acquainted to how AI/ML can change your life, because AI/ML is already changing your life. The world is changing, my dear friend. The time has come for newer beginnings in the new year with Biotechnika's AI/ML internship. I'll see you soon as a AI/ML scientist. All the best.